We start with something healthy. Support comes from Brickhouse Whey Protein. Now, I've got to be honest with you. I've tried my share of protein powders over the years, and most of them didn't do diddly squat. No extra muscle, no real boost of energy, and sometimes they even upset my stomach. The folks at Brickhouse Nutrition explain why, and that's because most powders are just low-quality protein mixed with cheap fillers like soy, corn syrup, and cellulose. Brickhouse Whey is different, though. It's bioengineered by doctors, not marketers. That means clean formulation, no junk, and superior absorption, so your body actually uses it. Since I switched, I've noticed faster recovery after workouts, more strength, and zero bloating because it's lactose-free. So if your protein powder isn't cutting it, switch to Brickhouse Whey for guaranteed results or your money back. Go to thenewwhey.com and use the promo code LEMON for 20% off. That's promo code LEMON at thenewwhey.com. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Lemon Live at 5. We are really extremely happy that you're here. And boy, do we have a show for you. Let's put it up now. Let's go. We're going to take you straight to Texas and the legislature there. And there you see a group, a host of people supporting State Representative Nicole Collier. She's in the middle wearing green because that represents to them the flood victims, and they want this bill to pass. She's a Democrat. She's serving Texas's 95th district in the Lone Star State's House of Representatives. Now, as you know, if you know her story, she has been there all evening when she got back. Have you been there since you got back to Texas? Or
yes, 12 p.m. yesterday.
Okay, so thank you for joining us. You were away. I don't know, were you in Chicago? Were you in LA? I'm not sure.
We were in Chicago area.
Chicago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so you decided to come back. I'll talk to you about that later. But I want to ask you, so what is this solidarity now? And what is it like being there for so long? And why won't you sign this piece of paper?
Well, I'm stubborn. I know what I don't like, and I don't like being told what to do by those who want to exercise power for no reason. There's no justification for doing this. They've doubled down on their threats and intimidation. And so that's what this is. And I refuse to be a part of it. And I just don't like it. I don't agree. I'm using my constitutional right to disagree and resist. And so we have always been in solidarity and unity together against opposing these rigged congressional maps. In fact, our friends in labor gave us these bracelets that talk about solidarity. So we stand in solidarity with one another. They will be here with me tonight. And I'm looking forward to continuing the discussion about making sure that we push back against government overreach and the government that tries to silence us.
Representative, explain to our viewers, our subscribers, what kind of paper they wanted you to sign and that you're refusing to sign.
Yeah, Rep. Plisa has one, but it was a document. It was a permission slip. It said that you agree to be released into the custody of DPS in order to leave the chamber, the Department of Public Safety. Yes, Ms. T, I forgot. So this is the document that they were asked to sign. I did not sign this because I disagree. I am an adult. I don't need a permission slip to go somewhere. I have rights, and I don't appreciate them trying to abridge them.
Interesting.
And we're duly elected officials. We're duly elected officials. You know, the fact that they believe that all they have to do is tell us to do one thing and we're going to roll over. All session, all we did was take their punishment. Take. They filed bill after bill that harms our communities. And I'm tired of taking it. I'm ready to push. I'm ready to push back and take a stand. There's a lot of Americans who are tired and fed up of taking Trump's ruin of our country, and we're ready to take it back.
Yeah. There's someone behind you. There's someone. Can you? Someone behind you with nice curly, grayish hair.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We want to make sure that we see you. So can you move over? And everybody, we want everybody to get.
Actually, I'm going to move back. How about I move back, because these are my sisters. I want them to talk too.
We want you not too far back, because we want to be able to hear you. We want to be able to hear you. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and just squeeze in a little bit more. Yeah. And so, this feels strange. It feels like an occupation. It feels like you're not free to be able to move around. I understand that there are even people at your homes watching you guys, making sure that you don't leave, or if you do, you're going to the Capitol and they're like your whereabouts. Like, what is that all about?
Custody.
Yeah, they're not free. They're not free. In fact, they're in custody. DPS is custody. In fact, their DPS officers are standing right over here, making sure that they don't go anywhere, and they're making sure that I don't go anywhere because these doors are locked.
Can you see them?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You
Where
want
you
to see
are?
them?
Can you turn the camera? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's show you the DPS officers that are here today.
In plain clothes.
They're in plain clothes.
And
But
they're
they're
just
there
standing there watching you guys.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yes.
Seriously, what? So let me ask you: can you move in the lady who is on the right of Miss Collier? Not yet. Move in.
Miss T.
There.
Miss T.
Keep going.
This
Miss
is the
T.
dean of our house.
Yes.
There you
Miss
go.
T.
Yes. So then, my question is,
Yes.
why did you guys go back?
Well, the quorum was going to be set. And so once the quorum is there, you got to come back and fight. You have to be here because
You think it was going to be set? I
Yeah,
didn't think it would be set unless you guys came back. There were enough people in Texas already.
they only need two more Democrats to come back. They only need two more people. Because sometimes, some days the Republicans didn't show up. So it just, depended on what day that we were caught on. We knew that quorum was going to be restored. And so they only need 76 votes to pass a bill or to even change the rules on the floor. And so they have 88. We have 62. So if we want to change, if we want to be here to oppose it, we got to show up.
Mm-hmm. And now, if they were not able to make quorum, if two people didn't go back, would you guys have stayed?
Here's the bottom line. We
Yes,
wanted
ma'am.
we couldn't stop the train from rolling if we stayed out 100 days. The train was going to still roll, but we delayed the train from rolling, and it gave us enough time to get a lot of things together legally, politically, and strategically. We were able to do those things. When we accomplished that, and our lawyers told us we had accomplished the things that we needed to accomplish, it was time to come back. We knew in the beginning when we broke, we weren't going to stop the train from rolling. We couldn't. We don't have the votes to stop it. But we did slow it down, and we slowed it down long enough to get some things in place. And we were able to get that done. And we were grateful for that. And we were grateful for the public support in supporting us.
Yeah. And you said she's they call you Dean? I don't want to,
I'm
call
the
you
dean
out.
because I'm the longest serving person.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to call you out your name because, I grew up in Louisiana and there are lots of ladies like all of you there and they don't play. And I want to respect. My mama taught me to say ma'am and don't ask a woman her age and all that. So I just want to make sure that I can call you the dean. I don't want to disrespect you at all.
Well, I'm here. I'm 86 years old. I've been here for 53 years, and it's not because I didn't have anything else to do. It's just the fight is too important to check out.
You're 60 what? I mean 80 what?
86.
What? Wait a minute. What are you eating? What's your secret?
Black don't crack.
I'm eating every day so I can fight injustice when I meet it every day.
Amen. That's what keeps her young.
I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
So you said that you're there to fight every day. The question is, what can be done now? What do you say to people? Here's my question. What do you say to people who are disappointed that you guys came back? They feel like, oh, this was the only thing that we had standing, standing in the way of tyranny, so to speak. That was the only thing, the only leverage that Democrats had, and people around the country were looking to you guys to stay out. Till December if it was necessary. What do you say to folks who are disappointed that you didn't?
I wish we could have stayed out until December, but here's the bottom line. I would like to live to eternity, but I know at some point in time, my time is on this earth is going to be up. Our time was up. We had accomplished what we set out to accomplish, and we're now here to fight it head on. We have to be here for these other fights, and we're going to be fighting injustice every day as we always do. If we had stayed out 1,000 days, whenever we came back 1,001 day, they was going to still be able to move this bill. We could not stop them because we don't have the votes to stop them. But what we can do is we can mobilize, we can encourage people to go out and let's change the landscape of what we've been living under. We can make those improvements, and people want to make those improvements, and we want to help them make them. We're putting the good fight up now. We're doing all that we can do, but all what we have to fight with. And we're
Mhm.
still fighting, and we're still standing, and we're still willing to hold on to democracy because it's something that we know that we have to fight for each and every day.
Yeah. Uh, no, you're good.
No, my daughter
So
just sent a text and said, Miss T looks good for 86.
your daughter's watching. Good. Tell her
Yes.
what's her name. What's her name?
My daughter, Courtney.
Courtney. Courtney. Hi,
Yeah.
Courtney. Thanks for watching. Get all your friends to watch us as well. We have a hot channel and we're on all the time. And you guys know these ladies.
And we have a baby member, a freshman here.
Mhm.
And she came in, this is her first term, and she's fallen into the fight. We
Yeah.
know that in order to protect our people, to represent our people, we have to be ready for the battlefield every day. And we get up ready. Whether we eat our Cheerios or not, we're ready to fight.
Yeah.
Miss T, I want to ask you, what is it like? And then
Oh,
I'll get to your baby member that as you call. What is it like watching your sister in arms being, held really kind of hostage, if you want to call that, on the legislature floor, on the House floor?
It's wonderful to know that she's willing to stand up and fight back. It reminds me when I was a student in college, and I used to do the sit-down strikes. I used to go and sit on the stools, and they wouldn't serve me because I was black, and they couldn't serve nobody else because I refused to move. It reminds me of those days and those times. And sometime in life you think that you're going to get to a point that those things are past events. They don't come anymore, but they keep coming. And what you have to be ready for, you have to be ready every day to knock down that injustice and to make sure that you're cutting a swat of land for others to come after you so that they can be able to enjoy the benefits and the fruits of a just society. And that's what we keep fighting for. And hoping to train them so they would be able to look after those who come behind them as well.
Hey,
Where'd
Don,
everybody
you
go?
got a
Where did
minute?
they go?
You got a minute? They're about to go do something right now. You want to come see?
Yeah. What are they
Okay.
doing?
Let's see. Let's see if I can get you out there. Hey, can somebody help me with this? I need help. Let me just take this over here. You're about to see. All right. Are you still on?
Yeah, I'm still on. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. I can't leave because I'm restricted, but I'm going to ask somebody to take this phone out there. Yes, Miss T. Miss T's going to take this phone out there and she's going to show you what's going on. So just have it like this.
Okay.
You go like that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
'Cause I can't go out.
Oh, so we're going through.
Okay, I'm
now.
going. I just hang on there. Hang on. Hang on.
Okay.
I've got to go
Come
down some
on.
steps.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Miss
right.
T, please be careful. Come on now.
Okay. Okay.
So okay, so is this the slip rip? Uh-oh. They're in an old building.
Okay.
Let's see if it comes back. Oh, there it is. What are we looking at? That's a bunch of media out there.
Is this Don?
You're looking at a press conference.
Don?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Don. Good to see you.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Thanks for taking forever, Scott. Thanks for talking to them forever. We were supposed to be at 4:00.
They told
No,
me
don't-
they did it, but I want to see this happen. This is happening live now.
I'm
You
just
guys are
hanging
getting
on.
to watch
Okay, we're
this
ready
live
to get
on
started.
the
Okay.
channel.
I'm
Can
Penny
Steve hold the
Crowell.
camera? Is there someone who can hold the camera so we can see it?
I'm joined with my esteemed colleagues, Greta Bowers, the Dallas area, Cassandra Hernandez, Mahela Plesa, and Mrs. T, the Dean of our house, also from the Houston area. And Mahela, what area do you represent?
You got it.
I represent Collin County. Thanks, Cass.
Spin it around so I can see it.
Right.
There we go.
So when we came to the floor yesterday, we came of our volition. We knew what the stakes were, but we also knew that we have a legal battle to fight in the court because the Governor Abbott has said that he is determined to get these redistricting maps passed. So we knew what was ahead of us. What we didn't know is that we were going to be arrested en masse when he directed the sergeant at arms to lock the chambers and not let us exit. And then we were basically put up against the wall and said, not literally, but figuratively put up against the wall and said, no one's allowed to leave unless they basically sign a piece of paper consenting to moving custody is what I call it. We are not criminals. We are statesmen and women. We are elected just like those people are. They have no, I'm here, I'm speaking for myself.
I'm here because when I left and went back to Houston to take care of important matters that had been neglected, I was watching Nicole Collier and our chairman Wu, and I said, that's what we should have done. We were wrong. I was wrong. I'm not going to speak for everybody. She was right. I'm with Nicole because that was the right thing to do. And I'll tell you why. There is no legal basis. There is no House of Rule basis for what is being done. It's illegitimate. The only power that they have is with my consent for them to be able to do this. And I thought about it and I might have done the wrong thing on day one when my back was against the wall, but I am correcting course. I am correcting course. I went to my doctor's appointments in Houston and I never even went home. I had 3 DPS people with me at different times. I never even went home. Yesterday I left in custody and I came back in custody because I stand with Nicole Collier and Jean Wu. This is illegitimate. This is a very bad and low precedent for future legislators because if it's okay to just make up a punitive thing that we knew we were going to get a spanking when we came back because it happened in 2021. But this, again, has no legal basis. It has no House rules basis. It is made up. We were already in the chamber of our own volition. There is no reason to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on 40 plus DPS units that should be home with their families today or doing real law enforcement work. We should be and paying them overtime 24 hours a day to be right with us, except in the bathroom. I mean, that we could be paying for kids' school lunches at a school district or something. This is a waste of your taxpayer dollars. And I'm going to let my colleagues speak. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to our colleague, Kenny Morales-Shaw. I am Letta Andrews Bowers. I am the first vice chair of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, and I do stand here with my colleagues and sisters, but also in solidarity with our sister, Representative Nicole Collier. Outraged, but I want to say we are outraged with the constant surveillance that has been placed upon us. I stayed in town last night. I checked myself into a hotel, but we came here of our own free will. We walked the Colonel of the Department of Public Safety. That why would we be considered a flight risk if we walked in of our own volition? We walked in. We are not running from anything. We have not been running from anything this entire time. So I want to be clear that this is a blatant violation of our freedoms as Texans, as Americans, and as duly elected officials. I stand shoulder to shoulder with Representative Nicole Collier and all of my colleagues here because we are being subjected to extreme and unnecessary measures. Taxpayer dollars should not be wasted following elected officials around like criminals. I did feel some type of way when I was locked here in the chamber, but even in my very nice hotel room, I felt some type of way because I felt like I was imprisoned in that very room. We are not criminals. We are not flight risk, as I've said. We are representatives of the people of Texas. Those resources belong to Texans. Right now, families in the Hill Country who lost everything to devastating floods need our help. Yet instead of providing relief, those dollars are being spent on constant DPS patrols. And while I respect the kindness and professionalism of some of these officers that have been assigned to us, this is not where their duties should lie. Law enforcement should be protecting Texans from the real dangers, not surveilling state legislators. Texans deserve better. They deserve safety, security, and leaders focused on their needs, not political intimidation. And as Texans and Americans, and as duly elected officials of this state, we demand better. It is time to end this misuse of power and return to the real work that matters, serving and protecting the most vulnerable in this state. Thank you. Thank you. And now I'd like to.
I'm so sorry. I'm stuck at a press conference right now. I'm trying to get them to join. I'm trying to get them to join right now. I'm working on it.
Thank you. Thank y'all, everyone, for being here today. I'm so honored to stand in solidarity with all my colleagues in recognizing the monumental position that
We're still live.
Collier has put us in and allowing us to be part of this process with her. I won't reiterate what so many of my other colleagues said already, but what I do want to make sure that people recognize is that there are other colleagues that are currently en route here to the Capitol to also join us in solidarity in making sure to also stay overnight with Representative Collier as well. And in addition to that, there are other individuals who want to be here right now, but because either they are back for medical doctor's appointments for children or other reasons, in district reasons, they can't specifically be here right at this moment, but they intend on being with us tomorrow whenever we fight this egregious bill that's going to be on the floor tomorrow. And let us be straight up. We know what bill tomorrow. They didn't learn their lesson from the first session. And that was that we continued as Democrats on standing on what should be the people's business. And that is taking care of all of our families that have suffered in the whole country. But guess what bill is on the calendar tomorrow? It's not addressing and getting the funding for those families. It's not making sure that other Texans suffer the same fate that these families have suffered and continue to suffer from this day. We continue to see our Republican leadership not prioritizing Texans, and we are here to say no more. We've been saying it from the very beginning. We're honored to have had the opportunity to lead the state in order to join forces and to sound the alarm of what's going on here in Texas. And we will continue to keep amplifying that. We came back to Texas knowing that we needed to now bring the fight based off the legal experts' advice to bring the fight here to the House floor and ultimately to the courts. And that is exactly what we intend to do. So while we're in here doing our slumber party for democracy, you will see that we will be working on the floor, strategizing and making sure that we bring the fight tomorrow. And we will not allow them to continue to keep silencing our communities and taking away our abilities as duly to represent the people that we have been elected to represent in all of here today. And I'm honored to be here with all my colleagues. In particular, thank you so much to Representative Penny Morales-Shaw. She was the one that spearheaded and spread the word amongst all of our delegation that we needed to come back and we needed to be here with our colleague, Representative Collier, and we're anxious to do what we got to do and get on the floor.
Hey everybody, my name is Michaela Lisa, and I proudly serve the constituents of House District 70 in Collin County. I am here today to tear up my permission slip. Because like Representative Penny Morales-Shaw said, we're correcting course today. And this should be a wake-up call for everybody. Because this is how easy you can give up your rights. This is how easy the legal system can get turned on you. Because if they can do it to us, they can do it to anybody. Let me tell you something about my friend and colleague, Representative Nicole Collier. Her courageousness is contagious. You saw how many people stood in solidarity with her all through the night. She had so many history makers calling her and telling her they are in the room with her. People like Vice President Kamala Harris. Texas Democrats, that is not a verb. That's an adjective. Because you know what a Texas Democrat does? We stand up to bullies. You know what Texas Democrats do? We pass voting rights acts and civil rights acts. We want to draw fair maps and have fair representation for fair wages, right? Because we know that redistricting should be about representation and not manipulation. Right. And that's what's happening in this body, in this people's house. Tomorrow, this won't be your house. Tomorrow, this will be Donald Trump's house. Because it's Donald Trump who asked Governor Abbott to give him 5 more seats. Just like when he called the Secretary of State of Georgia. Right. Y'all remember that? That's right. And he asked for how many? 11,000 more votes. And the Secretary of State said no there. Our governor said yes here. That's why we took this fight nationwide. That's why California is introducing acts. And that's why we're back here to take the fight to the legal system, because we know we're on the right side of history. John Lewis, when he crossed the Edmund-Paris Bridge, he said, I am smiling in my mugshot because I know I'm on the right side of history. He said something else. He said, you too must find a way to get in the way. Collier got in the way. And today, a lot of her colleagues are joining her. Who's ready to tear up this split? Ladies. Whose house? Whose house? Never let them forget that. We're wearing green because green was the color of the flood victims. We're here for them. We will not forget them. Even though they won't be first tomorrow, for some people, they are for us. Y'all ready to get to work?
Okay, we're watching a live feed now coming in from the Texas legislature, where the crowd chanting "Don't F with Texas women." These are the lawmakers that left Texas and went to places like Chicago and California and other areas because they didn't want them to make a quorum, and the Republicans to redraw the lines of congressional districts in the state. And so there you are watching that. We have been speaking to Representative Nicole Collier and her some of her legislative colleagues there in Texas, and they are standing with her because she refused to sign a slip saying, you know, you're not gonna be able to tail me or tell me where I can go. So that's live. So look, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna continue to watch that and to keep an eye on it. But that was some great coverage there, and I appreciate those ladies. They kind of changed my mind. Not changed my mind. At least they gave me new information about what happened, why they went back. I still think that all of them should have stayed. I don't even know why 2 of them left or went back. I don't know why. But there is some truth to you got to be there to fight. But who wants to be held a prisoner in the House of Representatives, or even in your own house? On the House floor. Who wants to be held hostage like that? We're going to continue to follow this, and we're also going to show you something that's really outrageous that this president is doing around race, trying to take us back to a time, or at least rewrite the history of racism in this country and slavery. Wait till you see what he said now and how it is a concerted effort to whitewash slavery and history, the history of this country. First, a word from our sponsors. Support comes from Beam. Let's be real. Summer doesn't mean life slows down. The headlines keep coming. The noise gets louder. The burnout is the goal. The rest, well, rest is resistance. And that's why I use Beam's Dream Powder. It is a natural sleep blend with ingredients like magnesium, reishi, and melatonin. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up clear, not groggy. Now, since I started using Dream, I'm sharper, I'm more focused, and my mornings no longer feel like I'm running out of fumes, okay? And the taste, smooth and delicious. It's become part of my nightly routine. And I'm not alone. Dream has improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep. Now it's your turn. Right now, Beam is offering up to 40% off of Dream Powder for my listeners. So go to shopbeam.com/lemon and use the code LEMON at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/lemon for up to 40% off. Sleep well, wake up ready. The fight continues. Support comes from Mint Mobile. You know what doesn't belong in your summer plans? A giant wireless bill. And I'm talking about those triple digit charges that eat into your fund. That's why so many people, including folks on my team, are switching to Mint Mobile. With Mint, you get premium wireless on the nation's largest 5G network for way less money. And right now, new customers can get 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for just $15 a month. Same coverage, same reliability, unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data, and you keep your own phone and number. So I've tried it, and the quality is the same as the big carriers. Clear calls, fast data, and big savings. So don't sweat your phone bill this summer. Get your unlimited plan for $15 a month at mintmobile.com/DonLemon. That's mintmobile.com/DonLemon. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We appreciate it. Okay, so you saw what happened live on there in Texas. Amazing coverage that you got here on this channel. I'm not sure you got that anywhere else. That's what you get with the Don Lemon channel and the Don Lemon Show and Lemon Live at 5. But also, we need your support so that we can continue to do this. So please become a member. Memberships are extremely reasonable. So become a member. Also, hit the subscribe button. It's right at the bottom of the screen, right under the comments, or right there with the comments. Free subscriptions, and then just make sure, because it is really important to us, and it's important that you hit that thumbs up. You hit the thumbs up. Can you put up the website real quick, Andy? I just want to show people where the thumbs up and how they can join. It's easy. So if you put up the website, you can go to donlemon.com. You go to donlemon.com and you hit that watch button right there. And that will take you to our main page on YouTube. The subscribe, it'll tell you if you're subscribed or not. If you're not, you can hit that button right there and you can join. Join button that's where the memberships are. Okay? It's just that easy. So thank you for that. In the meantime, let's talk about what Donald Trump is doing. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. In the meantime, here's what Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump tweeted this about slavery. Okay? And it's, should it be shocking? Not really. We already know. The museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how accomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. Now, here's the thing. I'm not done yet. He's not done. You can leave it up. Apparently, he's never visited the African American Museum, and because it's a lot of it is about Black excellence, about Black accomplishments, but it does not whitewash or gloss over the history of this country, and it should not. The Smithsonian is a very respected institution. Yes, you're right, Nicole Luongo. He is unhinged, and apparently he knows nothing about art, nothing about history, nothing about culture, nothing about taste. If you've seen the Oval Office and you've seen that the inside of his apartment in New York City, all that gold shit looks like a I don't know, a fake gold paint, and Home Depot section blew up everywhere. I'll continue. We're not going to allow this to happen. And I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities, where tremendous progress has been made. Is this a fucking dictatorship? I mean, really, Donald Trump? It makes you look like an idiot, but it's also frightening, the times that we're in. This country cannot be woke, because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including in our museums. Okay. Donald Trump is a lunatic. Donald Trump is crazy. And we are all living in it. This man is unstable, in my opinion. Lunacy, in my opinion. And everyone has to be a party to his lunacy. This sounds like something I don't even know what kind of person would write something like this, except a bigot, except someone who knows nothing about nothing. I mean, he went to Wharton, but it sounds uneducated. It sounds ignorant. It's shocking. You're not surprised? Have you had enough of all this winning? This is a concerted effort, okay? And I'm going to show you why. I like to give evidence. When I said that Donald Trump, when I was on CNN and I said that, I opened the show saying the president of the United States is racist, and then I gave the receipts. So let me give you some of the receipts now of the racism and that this is targeted. This is on purpose. This is coordinated. This is what Vox is reporting. Trump White House to put PragerU in schools. How the right-wing network PragerU could fill the void left by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's defunding. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Dennis Prager is. I know Dennis Prager. He is wacky. He is what you think he is. I will show you the evidence. And this is what they want to replace this in the Smithsonian and the public broadcasting with. Yes, Jennifer, you're right about Dennis Prager. PragerU. This is a clip on Columbus and slavery. This is what they do. This is what they want to replace public broadcasting with. You ready for this?
Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? Before you judge, you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society of the time treat as no big deal?
Is that what you want replaced with public broadcasting replaced with? Is that what you want? Now, I want you to sit back. Again, like I said, I like to give you receipts. That's what we do here. This is a class today. This is Robert Reich. Remember Robert Reich? He's going to tell you exactly what PragerU is. Watch.
PragerU is the most insidious outfit advancing the right's online agenda, and that's saying something. Its 5-minute videos, which have collected nearly 5 billion views, couch typical Republican dog whistles and outright misinformation with titles like The Myth of Voter Suppression. They serve as a gateway to the more overt right-wing content pushed by the likes of Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. PragerU pushes its videos into schools. Over 6,000 teachers and parents have signed up so far. And social media's algorithms amplify all this misinformation. When PragerU's videos are assigned by teachers for students to watch at home, more right-wing content comes up for kids on social media and YouTube. And it's spreading around the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu even used one of PragerU's videos to justify the actions of the Israeli military. Backed by fracking billionaires Dan and Paris Wilkes and other right-wing billionaires, PragerU deploys a $25 million a year budget with ads targeting young people with right-wing propaganda. Schools, the internet, and now even far-right leaders abroad. This organization is advancing its right-wing ideology everywhere. So the next time you see these videos, know the truth about who's really behind them.
That's what you need to know. And I'm just getting started with this because it is indeed frightening. You're going to hear from my sister, Joy Reid, who also has her own independent channel. You're going to hear from some folks who are flabbergasted by this, your average, everyday Americans. And you're going to hear from someone that you'll find familiar who downplayed slavery. First, a word from our sponsors. Support comes from Ollie. If my dogs could talk, I know exactly what they'd say. Dad, stick with Ollie. The tails wag, the little hops, the goofy grin. Ollie food just makes them happy and honestly healthier too. Ollie delivers fresh human-grade meals made in U.S. kitchens with zero fillers or preservatives. Just real food and flavors dogs go wild for, like beef with sweet potatoes or turkey with blueberries. Since switching, my dog's coat is shinier. All of their coats are shinier. They're more energetic, and yes, poops are better too. So take their quick quiz, and Ollie builds a customer plan for you, just your pup. So plus the only fresh food with unlimited routine health screenings included. That's what they are. That's real peace of mind. So go to ollie.com/lemon and use code LEMON for 60% off of your first box. That's ollie.com/lemon. Dogs deserve the best. And with Ollie, they're going to get it. We love Ollie for our dogs. Support comes from 120 Life. High blood pressure is serious. It is the #1 risk factor for mortality, and I've got people in my life dealing with it right now. So this hits home. 1 in 2 adults has high blood pressure, but the good news is you can manage it naturally. 120 Life is a blend of superfruit juices, clinically shown to help lower blood pressure. It's recommended by hundreds of doctors, and people see measurable results in just a couple weeks. You can even track it at home with a simple monitor. And it's not just for blood pressure. It supports overall health, heart health, and even benefits people who are managing diabetes. So try it risk-free. If you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks, you get your money back. So go to 120life.com and use the code DON to save 20% off. That's 120life.com, code DON. Nothing to lose except those dangerous high numbers. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you. So we do thank our sponsors. So yes, someone in the chat said being a slave is better than being dead. Did you get that? That's what they want to replace PBS with. Okay. Joy Reid, have a seat. Take a listen. Here she is.
They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU. They can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a white man the king, because they couldn't make rock and roll. So they have to stamp the king on a man whose main song was stolen from an overweight black woman.
I'm just saying. And a lot of black artists who never got the credit. And it is the truth. But no one wants to hear that. It literally is the truth. It's not racist. It's not race baiting. It's a 100% absolute truth. And all you have to do is go back and read. But it's problematic if people are trying to change the history books, if people are trying to change the institutions, influence it, and it is coordinated in ways that whitewash it. Just remember, you saw what someone said asked in the chat. Wait, being a slave was better than being dead? Ron DeSantis, remember this?
Get your clarification on one thing within the policy. It says instruction includes how slaves develop skills, which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. Could you just explain why?
Well, you should talk to them about it. I mean, I didn't do it, and I wasn't involved in it. But I think what they're doing is I think that they're probably going to show some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life. But the reality is all of that is rooted in whatever is factual. They listed everything out. And if you have any questions about it, just ask the Department of Education. You can talk about those folks. But I mean, these were scholars who put that together. It was not anything that was done politically.
Ron DeSantis. And there are others. Well, I think someone on Fox News said the same thing. I think it was a Fox News personality. Just double check that. Hit the Google machine for me. I think that was someone else who said that as well. We all remember this one too. When asked on the campaign trail what the Civil War was about, she just couldn't say slavery. Here it is.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question.
That's an easy question.
I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do.
I say it's freedom of many things. When people proudly had their Confederate flags, they're not talking about racism. They love their flag. It represents the South.
I knew half of South Carolinians saw the Confederate flag as heritage and tradition. What do you want me to say about slavery? Next question.
I'm just saying. And you want more proof? This is Donald Trump in the 1980s.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great, I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I was starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
That was back in the 1980s. Okay? So what more proof do you want? Do they want? They're not, he doesn't care. And today he's saying that history is making people feel bad, that it is not showing America in a positive light. History is often not so positive. I mean, ask Germany. I mean, I'm just saying, especially, my Jewish brothers and sisters, wouldn't you agree that those are horrific things and they should not be portrayed as anything that is glowing or something that we look longingly on? It was awful. Slavery was awful. Jim Crow is awful. Racism is awful. But that is part of America's history. This TikToker, this streamer says it all for me. Here it is.
I feel like when people say that telling people the truth about slavery makes white kids feel bad is like an admission that you associate your identity with the slave owner. I have never once felt bad about myself learning about the historical impacts of slavery and how it was done. But those that do feel bad, that's a little suspect to me.
Conservatives paint this narrative that K through 12 public school teachers are running around during their slavery units and pointing at the white kids and laughing at them, making them stand up and be shamed by the rest of the class.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would feel bad as a white guy or white kid just learning about slavery in general. And I feel like it's also a tell for conservatives because they think of themselves as having white pride. There's a lot of white supremacists, especially at PragerU, especially when we're talking about Stephen Miller in the administration and everywhere throughout conservative politics, that want to have pride in being white. And I think that they feel shame that they can't be proud of being white because they've associated whiteness with slavery because they with it.
No, and I think that's the base of it, is that deep down, or maybe even just on the surface, they with it, but they can't say they with it.
Yeah.
So they have to come up with all these roundabout explanations for why talking about slavery honestly is a bad thing.
I can't tell you guys how much this really infuriates me. And I can't tell you guys how dangerous this is. Because if you don't learn from your history, then you're doomed to repeat it. And perhaps that is what Make America Great Again means. That we want to go back in time and back in history, that they want to repeat that. They want to pretend that people didn't own slaves, that they didn't beat slaves, that there weren't lynchings, that people weren't bought and sold human beings. that they did not get paid, that they did it for free, that they built this country for free? Do people not want to know that because they think it's going to make white kids or white people feel bad? How do you think it feels to be descendants of enslaved people? When you hear about it, how do you think it feels when you see some of the things that are in the African American History Museum? That's the whole point of museums and art, is to move you. It's not necessarily always to make you feel good. Some of it is inspirational, but some of it is contemplative. It makes you think. It also, in that contemplation and that angst that you sometimes get from art and from reading and from history, it is where you grow. It is where people learn to improve themselves. And if you don't live in that space, then you become a Donald Trump, a dumbass, who will do whatever it is that is just politically or economically or business wise, whatever is expedient to him, whatever keeps him in power, whatever keeps white supremacy, then you become that person. That's what art is about. That's what the Smithsonian is about. These are supposed to be non-ideological institutions. And so if you don't want, when people say, if you don't like it here, get out of America or go back to Africa. Well, if you don't like it, I mean, where would you go? Germany? Italy? Ireland? I'm just saying, because this is not your homeland. How do you think Native Americans feel looking at you? How do you think, honestly, Mexicans feel? Because they didn't cross the border initially. The border crossed them. But if you read a history book, you would know that. He loves the poorly educated, and he loves the poorly educated because he can control the poorly educated, because they don't actually go to museums like the Smithsonian. They don't do that. It is like my friend Jennifer Welch says, just go to Cracker Barrel. If you don't believe in the rich tapestry, the rich history of this country, then stop using the goods and the services of people who are part of that tapestry. Just stop doing it. Then you just go and do the things that white people contributed to this country, which is really not an ethnicity. Whiteness is not an ethnicity. That's a social construct that's really class and a social construct made actually to make people feel bad and then to make others feel superior. That is the whole point of that whiteness. It's not that hard. If you think about it, it's not that hard. I saw someone saying, I hate it when all of these homophobes are wearing designer clothes that were designed by gay people, by members of the LGBT community. I said, you know what? You're 100% right. Don't be wearing the Calvin Klein underwear. You sure you want to be wearing Versace? You sure you want to be wearing all of the, even if it's real or fake, all the high-end, you think high-end shit that you... That's the gays, a lot of it. And most of it is liberals. That's how dumb you are, that you don't even realize what you're doing. There's no self-awareness. Donald Trump has no self-awareness. Yes, Donald Trump is a bigot. Donald Trump is a racist. And the evidence is obvious. It presents itself. The evidence is obvious. How much more evidence do you need? I like to get facts. What is happening in Texas, we started with racist as well. What are they trying to do? Disenfranchise Black people. Disenfranchise brown people. That's what they want to do. Are we really going to go back to that? I'm not standing for that shit. That is not, no. Are we going to go back to that? Are we going to stand up for that? That's why it just infuriates me with those dumb people that were like, I'm voting, I can't vote, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein. I'm voting for a third-party candidate because of this, and I can't believe that. Oh my gosh, it's fascist. Look at what they're doing here. Joe Biden is old. Oh my gosh. Kamala, I don't know. She's a woman. I don't like her voice. What the fuck is wrong with you people? This is what you get. You get Texas. You get the districts, the lines being redrawn to disenfranchise people. You get people who have to sleep in the House, in the legislature in Texas, because they won't sign a permission slip like they're a child. You get 24-hour surveillance. You get cities that are taken over by the military, turning the military on the citizens of this country. That's what you get. And you get someone who is enamored, who admires, who looks up to a war criminal, a dictator. That's what you get. And you know what you also get, MAGA? You get someone who you thought was beyond reproach, and their name is on the Epstein list many times. You get a person who doesn't want to talk about that list because they're on that list. You get a person who gets his own Justice Department to redact his name from that list. And you have the nerve to call liberals and members of the LGBTQ groomers and pervs. You get a president or someone who is so afraid of what someone will say that they are moved to a minimum security prison. After being found guilty of being one of the most prolific child abusers ever. Is this what making America great again is? Because if it is, I think y'all signed up for the wrong thing. Turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.